Hi there, you're watching Time Warner Cable's local edition, the Sacramento Report. I'm Jaime Garza. Today we're talking about HIV and AIDS and reform within city governments. Joining me is Assemblymember Anthony Portantino. Always good to have you here. It's always interesting to talk with you. Let's talk about HIV first. We've got two topics in these very few minutes that we have here. HIV, big concern, and you are going to be involved in a summit in order to kind of address some of the pressing issues in our community.
Well, thank you, Jaime. HIV is a very, very important issue for public health, and each year I co-host an event at City of Hope Hospital in Duarte. We call it an HIV Action Summit. In years past, we've brought down the City of Oakland, which has a wonderful community outreach and public health approach to HIV. We had them talk about their issue. We've had world-class researchers, including the man who co-discovered the disease in the first place. This year we're going to be talking about current HIV treatment, what's out there, what's working, what's not working, how effective we are. And then we're also going to be reviewing Obama's HIV initiative at City of Hope with their research team. And then we're doing something else that I think is going to be terrific. We're having a media panel. Let's talk about the role of the media in getting the word out about HIV and how it's changing. It's no longer an issue that affects only one part of our community. It affects everyone. In particular, women of color are the fastest growing folks, percentage-wise, who new cases are being discovered. And so we want to get the word out. We want to get people there. We've had healthcare professionals come. We've had nursing students come. This is a terrific day-long event that's just growing and getting better and better. And we want to invite the community on September 22nd to come down to City of Hope.
And this is something that's very, very important. If you at home think that this disease doesn't touch your lives, you're very sadly mistaken. I work on a steering committee we were talking about, and we are learning that the cases of HIV are increasing dramatically among teenagers. There's this idea where I'm invincible, and there's also this idea where back in the 80s, most of us who are in our 40s or older saw the face of AIDS, as they used to call it. But people have become immune, thinking that a few pills, I don't have to worry. It's just like a sexually transmitted disease, no big deal.
Right, no, and that's very true. And there are hundreds of thousands of people walking around who are HIV positive and don't know it. So we want to also encourage routine HIV testing as part of routine health care. Because if you know you have it, you're going to hopefully not infect someone else. But with hundreds of thousands of people walking around that don't know they're HIV positive, let's make testing be just like getting your cholesterol tested.
And again, this is September 22nd at the City of Hope?
City of Hope Hospital in Duarte, California, in the 44th Assembly District.
You may want to mark this calendar, talk to your kids about it, talk to your neighbors about it, some valuable information. Let's talk also about some reform. You've always been a reformer, and lately in the news we've been hearing about some craziness, if I can say that, in the city of Bell and exuberant salaries being paid to some of the city officials.
It's just greed. It's terrible. And I'm pleased to be joining Hector De La Torre, who is authoring some legislation to bring some more needed reform to this effort. Hector has fought these issues his whole career, so I'm joining him as a co-author on his legislation. It's just inappropriate. We should not be having folks making $800,000 and $400,000, and every day we're opening up the paper and seeing more abuses. We need to bring that kind of reform to local government and state government. I've been pushing pay-as-you-go legislation. I've been pushing salary freezes up here, and hopefully we can get a wind to turn into a tsunami and bring some fiscal restraint and financial reform through all facets of government. And I'm just pleased to see Hector continue to work on his passion and join him in those efforts as well.
Very interesting indeed. Assemblyman Anthony Portantino, always a pleasure to have you here, and always a pleasure for you at home to be watching this too. This has been Time Warner Cable's local edition, the Sacramento Report.
What's that? Did she just say there's an accident on the 605?
Oh, it's Beat the Traffic. I turn it on every morning.
Take control of your commute with Beat the Traffic exclusively on Time Warner Cable, Channel 101. Get up-to-the-minute traffic information with real-time 3D maps, live updates.
Traffic is looking clear on the southbound side. Nothing new on the 91 either east.
Trip times and alternate routes. On TV, on the web, on the go, and only on Time Warner Cable.